Texas-like fiesta dates all the way back to 1891. It started with a battle of flowers. There will be no flower throwing in this one. DC, the best team in the league by a wide margin, takes on a San Antonio squad which needs a win to make it into the postseason. Cooking's been fantastic. We are full. We did all of the dancing we can handle, and we're just lucky that Greg McElroy caught the Uber to the building. Here's what's at stake. DC will be home next week in the first round of the playoffs. San Antonio can only get a playoff berth with a win today and an Arlington loss tomorrow. It is all on the line for the Brahmas today. With that, we welcome you. Tom Hart alongside Greg McElroy. We've got Cole Kubelik and Katie George down on the field. The DC season has been sensational, except they're not the same team lately that they were early in the season. The offense has kind of hit some bumps in the road lately.
They haven't been able to run the ball with the same efficiency. Abe Smith, the best running back in the XFL, still leads the league in rushing by a fairly wide margin, but the consistency hasn't been there. And then conversely, defensively, they've struggled as well, going up against a Brahmas team in a gotta-have-it back-against-the-wall situation that finally found some offensive production last week.
Brahmas feel good coming into this one. Let's get you down to the field to the only man on the broadcast today who still has his blue check mark. His name is Cole Kubelik.
Well, and we have two starting caliber quarterbacks who are going to play for the DC Defenders tonight. Jordan Ta'amu, you get the majority of the reps. You start the games out. Most quarterbacks don't want to give up any snaps.
Yeah.
How have you two been able to make this work this season?
You know, we're both, talented players. He's athletic, and, he knows how to win the game. And whenever his number is called, he goes out there and be the leader, as of myself. So whatever way to win and go out there and lead the team, that's what we're both going to do.
J.R. King, you've been a starting quarterback for a long time. When Jordan starts the game out, you're waiting for your turn. What's going through your mind when you're not getting the opportunity right out of the gate?
Yeah, just got to stay ready. And when I do get in, do my job. It's all about winning here, and that's what I love about this team. We all just want to win, so I just want to do my job, help the team win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Katie?
Thanks, Cole. Hines, to keep your playoff chances alive, today is a must-win. What's been your message this week to your group?
This is a big game, not just for us as a team, but also a big game for us individually as players. A lot of scouts will be looking at this game. You want to start playing your best ball towards the end of the year. We get a great opportunity to face the best team in our league. So a lot at stake today, and looking forward to it.
Now, you and DC's defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, were on staff together at the Jets, so you know him well. What are you expecting from him today?
I love Greg, man. I know his defense is going to come out. They're going to play tough. They're going to play physical. Hell, Greg loves some Greg, so it's all about Greg. But it's going to be a tough challenge. We're up for the challenge.
Best of luck.
I appreciate it.
3 G's in the first name and a dominating defense. Let's get you some XFL pregame access. It's all in the family for Hines Ward.
Get your lip gloss off. Are you excited?
Yeah, I gotta get to work. I'm mic'd up now. We got one more shot to get in the playoff. Yeah, gotta take care of business today. Yes, sir.
I need your best today.
Yes, sir.
Give me everything you got today, all right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. You ready? You with me? You with me?
We are the thermostat. We are the thermostat. We will set the temperature for what we want this game to be, right? We will do that. And do it early. And do it early. And have fun, man. Play for each other, man. Let's go out here and get us a victory.
Well, DC was running hot early, only allowed 19 points a game over the first 6, but Reggie Barlow's squad allowing 32 points a game over the last 3. That dominating defense, like Greg talked about with the running game, has taken a step back. We are ready to go. John Parker Romo will get us started. Puka Williams Jr., standout from University of Kansas, set to return. If you haven't watched the XFL yet this season, kickoffs look a little bit different because they are. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. The coverage team, the returning team, lined up at the forward 35 and 30, just 5 yards apart. And Romo's kick is taken by Williams at the 6. Puka Williams, an explosive athlete, bursts through before Romo forces him out of bounds. Now, Cole mentioned the 2 quarterback system for DC, Jordan Ta'amu and De'Ara King. Ta'amu was a fantastic quarterback at Ole Miss, and he's got a lengthy pro resume. Transferred to Ole Miss from New Mexico Military Institute. He won the starting job. Ended up in the first iteration of the XFL. St. Louis's starting quarterback. He's been on the practice squad with 5 different NFL teams. And he comes into this game.
I was about to say, something looked wrong right here.
12 touchdowns against just 2 picks. Now we got a clock issue to get settled. Yeah, take it back. It's the chain.
Well, chain issue, no problem. But Ta'amu, excellent player. What I love most about him is when he was coming out of the New Mexico Institute, he signed at Ole Miss the same year as Shea Patterson, who was a 5-star. It was an afterthought and worked his way into the starting role and ultimately became a difference maker for the.
With the carry on first down. Fred Kais is the offensive coordinator.
Otto Black Waco, they're going fast.
Here comes the tempo. Kais already had his play call in. Jordan Ta'amu with the keeper. And he takes it to the 40. QB run game, big part of what DC wants to do.
That's really their bread and butter. They're going to run an offense that looks very similar to that of a college style. A lot of quarterback run, will play multiple guys, a lot of zone reads, a lot of run pass options where the quarterback has the option to hand it off, pull it, run it himself, or throw it to an open wide receiver. It's a team that also likes to utilize tempo and mix things up for the opposing defense.
Gucci shuffled the play call here, and they go with an inside pitch to Ethan Wolf. Former Tennessee Volunteer, where he played with his brother Eli. And he picks up the first down.
And at their core, DC is a team that really wants to pound the football. As you can see this year, Abram Smith, as we mentioned, guy that currently leads the league. He's the running back. He'll get a majority of the carries. But both De'Aaron King and Jordan Ta'amu very effective with their legs.
Ta'amu wants to throw. Flush from the pocket, directing traffic, and he fires on time. Completion to Lucky Jackson, and he's got plenty of space. Jackson inside the 10. And finally taken down inside the 5 after a 53-yard gain for the former Hilltopper from Western Kentucky.
And just an amazing job by Jordan Ta'amu. Feels the pocket breakdown. You see him point, telling Lucky to get open, run outside, get in phase, and then Lucky Jackson does the rest. You see the catch and run. Runs out of gas a little bit after crossing all the way back across the field. Excellent start for the defenders offensively.
Slow season start for Lucky, but he's turned it on in the last half. Big play of the opening drive. Ta'amu on play action. A bullet complete for a touchdown. It's Alex Ellis, and DC wastes no time getting on the board.
And just great action underneath. Loop pass to the right, but look at the defender. That's Luke Barku trying to undercut that throw. If that throw is just a little bit inside, or if that throw is just a little bit late, Barku's going to be able to make a play, probably even intercept the pass. Just pinpoint accuracy on the move there from Ta'amu.
They're going to go for 2 from the 5-yard line. Ta'amu. And that is caught. It's a good conversion. It's Josh Hammond. And DC using most of their offensive weapons here on this opening drive.
Just a clinic of a start here. Look at Ta'amu working through his progression, works back inside. Yet again, terrific coverage defensively by Ranthony Texada. Just not enough as the ball's thrown low and away, which allows Hammond to go underneath it, secure the catch for the 2-point conversion.
Ta'amu's with Cole.
How big was movement of the pocket and your ability to scramble and find somebody downfield on that drive?
Very huge, you know. Us as quarterbacks, we work this drill every day. The pocket collapse, escape, find an open guy, keep our eyes downfield, make a play.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's played in some big games in his time in the SEC with Ole Miss. And Jordan Ta'amu, he came out running tempo, and it seemed like that got the Brahmas on their heels early.
Big time. I mean, they immediately, as soon as they got that first 3rd down conversion, they were off to the races. Just a picture-perfect start for DC, and Hines Ward can't like what he saw already from his defense.
Matt McCrane will kick off. Brent Brown back to receive. He's got the lone kickoff return for a score in the league this year. Brown stood up just past the 25-yard line. It's been an inconsistent San Antonio offense led by Jack Cohn. He himself has played in some monster games in his career. First in the Big Ten with Wisconsin, Rose Bowl in 2019, and the Big Ten championship game that same season. Transferred to Notre Dame and got off to a hot start with the Fighting Irish. A Notre Dame record 366 yards and 4 touchdowns in his season opener. Wearing a gold helmet. 1 yard for Jaquez Patrick. Brought down by DJ Swearinger.
The story of the year for San Antonio has been injuries. I mean, they've been totally beat up across the front, having to mix and match a bunch of different offensive line combinations. Have started multiple quarterbacks, have lost a couple for the year. Cohn was the guy at the beginning, though, and he'll finish the season as the starter.
Without their starting left guard, Maya Tahuma in this game. He's out with an ankle injury. Blitz, and he got rid of it to Patrick. Patrick is going to set up a 3rd and short.
And Greg Williams, the DC for DC, known for blitz coverage. He wants to come after the quarterback.
Dash bear single press.
Here, dash bear single press. That's the defensive call, but most of what he's going to do is trying to apply pressure. He wants to blitz. He wants to heat up the quarterback. Looks like man coverage here defensively.
On 3rd and 2. Straight ahead, and the ball spotted good enough for a first down.
Good surge there along the front by Jaquez Patrick. Didn't look like there was a whole lot there, but just enough for the conversion. As you see, San Antonio is going to be a team that wants to play a little bit slower, take the air out of the football, going against a red-hot DC offense, expecting to slow the game down and shrink it as best they can.
Quick shot to his tight end, Alize Mack, for a pickup of 5.
Nickel.
You can tell all week long, this one, little fake to the inside, run pass option. They have a guy wide open there inside on the stick. He has to get the ball out really quickly because there's going to be some unblocked defenders in his face all game long.
Here's Landon Akers trying to set up a screen for him, and he manages only to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Great tackle by Francis Bernard there, the former Utah Ute. Very instinctive player. Has a great feel for the position alongside Reggie Northrup, who's training to become an MMA fighter. Just one fight away, one win away from potentially getting in the UFC. They make up one of the best linebacker tandems in the entire XFL.
The slam drag. You have to drag. Vegas, we go.
Voice of quarterback Jack Cohn. On 3rd and 3. Looking to go deep, but that was covered. Threads the needle to get it to Akers, who gets his foot down for a 9-yard gain and a first down.
Nothing there initially. Much like Ta'amu did on the opening drive, having to scramble to his right. It's a great job by Akers coming back to the quarterback, getting friendly on the sideline and allowing Jack Cohn to deliver a nice, accurate pass.
We out Vegas.
This be a spot right here. Maybe lock him up and see if he can't throw a shot downfield.
Patrick finds a hole. Jaquez Patrick with a first down run for the Brahmas. Horns forward on a gain of 11.
And this is really cool look where you have 3 different blockers moving from left to right across the formation. This ball is designed to cut back. Little counter action from the Brahmas, and there was nobody home defensively for the defenders.
Here we go. Hey, takes one. Vegas. We go.
You hear him say it takes one. That means it takes one. That's the hot route. He's got to get the ball quick.
There's the blitz. Able to fit it in to Travis Johnson. 2nd and short.
22 personnel. 22 personnel. Let's go. Fizz, zero far fact. Fizz, zero far fact. Good stagging.
Hey, good stallion. Good stallion. Good stallion.
This would be a handoff to the right.
Good stagging. Low motion, John. Low motion. Hurry up with the shift.
Hurry up
With the shift.
We're good. Vegas, Vegas. We go. Whitey! Watch it.
On 2nd and 2, Patrick. Maybe a foot. That'll bring up 3rd and short. Joe Wallace and Santos Ramirez both in on the stop. And Patrick's going to leave the field on 3rd and short, 10th play of the drive.
Hey, let's go. Hey, good 8-bib. Good 8-bib. Good 8-bib. Good 8-bib.
John Hilleman is the new running back for San Antonio.
Here we go. Vegas, we go. Whitey, watch it.
Hilleman's first touch. Needs a yard. And he squirts over the line to pick it up.
Great second effort from Hilleman there. Didn't look like anything was there initially. Continued to drive. It was pretty well defended.
How about this look?
It just won't be denied. Look, stopped in the backfield. Knows he has to cross the 25-yard line to convert the first down. He does just that as he keeps the drive forward.
Vegas, we go. Whitey, watch it.
Opening drive for the Brahmas. DC scored on its opening possession. And they get it to Hilleman out of the backfield. Spins his way forward and he picks up 8. Jimmy Johnson took over play calling duties a few games into the season.
Let's go. Trips left, F. Casper. Bad frog. Trips left, F. Casper. Bad frog.
So you're good. That's usually something to the right. Bad would be something to the left. So this would be a handoff to the left with a motion.
Patrick back in the game at running back. He's able to muscle his way for a first down. Gabe Wright with the tackle. Run game has looked good, and Jack Cohn is perfect so far. 6 for 6 on this drive.
Hey, 77. 77, 77. Who's the mic? Linda.
So you see here when he says, who's the mic? He's talking to the center. He's wondering who's the middle linebacker. That's what sets the protection.
Wide open, but they're looking for a screen, and nothing doing. Alizé Mack was out there to block. First miss for either quarterback to start this game. Jordan Ta'amu, 3 for 3. Cohn now 6 for 7.
4 wide, 4 wide. Fast on. Good 8-bib. Go. Good 8-bib. Good 8-bib.
7-minute drive is still rolling for San Antonio.
We out.
So you're big, good 8, hand off to the right, or you could throw a bubble to the left. Your gum, think bubble.
And it's Landon Akers who picks up 5.
So that right there is an RPO. It's called a run play, where so you have the option as a quarterback to run the ball. You can also, hear alert 0. He's telling the guys, hey, be prepared for pressure. That's a pressure coverage. And you hear gum. That means you chew gum and you blow bubbles. So run a bubble.
76.
That's the RPO call. So here, listen to the communication between the quarterback, the offensive line, and the wide receivers, knowing that this is a blitz down for DC's defense.
We go. Whitey, my son.
From the edge, Cohn gets rid of it, and just off the hand of Landon Akers. What's going through a quarterback's mind when pressure is crashing around you?
React more than anything else. You just got to know that your communication is sound across the board. There was nothing to panic about right there. Jack Cohn felt like there was going to be an additional unblocked defender that was going to blitz. He didn't come. So he had more time than he thought, but he retreated anyways, got himself into unnecessary trouble. As a result, has to throw off his back foot and misses just high on what would have been a walk-in touchdown.
From 26, John Parker Romo drills it through. He leads the league now with 16 field goals on the season. San Antonio in a must-win situation. Heinz Ward's team is on the board, but trailing in the first quarter. By Progressive, the right call to protect your home and car. Fiesta in full swing. Originally Battle of the Flowers, commemorating Battle of the Alamo. Women would throw flowers at each other out in the streets of San Antonio. It is graduated to an incredible party with the second largest parade in the country, and some DC fans, or at least one, is
about to say I saw a little house divided right there. To sit next to each other in such a bitter rivalry is amazing.
Here's Puka Williams. Puka Williams, he's got space and speed.
You ain't catching it.
Puka Williams Jr. gets tripped up from behind. In a league that's only seen one kickoff return for a score this season, Puka Williams nearly had the second.
Man, Puka can fly too. That was really impressive right there by number 20, Kima Sivran. He was full go, great angle, but my goodness, look at Puka Williams off to the races. Look at 20, shot out of a cannon. Somehow drags him down, man. That was impressive effort, but another huge play from DC.
Defenders, the best team in the league. They'll be home in the playoffs next week at Audi Field. Tamo hands it off to Abram Smith, who picks up just one. Kind of gotten away from the run game for one reason or another. Smith only had 27 yards on just 10 carries last week. His least productive game, especially by touches, for the former Baylor Bear.
It's a fascinating story, is Abe Smith. Terrific teammate, the guy that played running back coming out of high school, switched to linebacker, back to running back. Just a great story.
And now second and goal. The league's leading rusher takes it straight ahead. And the opportunity that he got going into his final year at Baylor was just kind of almost on a lark.
It was almost out of just necessity. In spring football, Jeff Grimes, the offensive coordinator for Baylor, said, man, we don't have a running back that runs my style of ball. I need a bruiser. So the coaches said, well, why don't you try Abe Smith? They put him back there. No one could tackle him in the spring, and the rest is history.
Got a Baylor single-season record for 100-yard rushing games to the end zone and incomplete. Trying to find Chris Blair. Best deep threat in the XFL this season. A little too hot from Tamu.
Just a little bit high. You want to throw these balls in the back of the end zone. The goal and the landmark is actually the bottom of the goalpost. That's where you want to throw it, but you don't want to throw it at 100 miles an hour. You want to throw it up kind of like an alley-oop so the receiver can go up, time his jump, and make the play high in the back of the end zone. That one just a little bit too hard from Ta'amu, and it falls incomplete.
21-yard attempt for Matt McCrane out of Kansas State. And he makes his 11th of the season. DC with an 8-point lead. 2:31 to go in the first quarter. From the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. All business inside, all party outside. Big dog, little hat.
Coach Barlow, you have to feel good about the juice your team's bringing so far. Offense been up and down the field a few times. Special teams showing up big as well.
Yeah, we wanted to get off to a fast start. The guys took into that, and they're playing hard, playing fast. That was outstanding by Puka there on the kickoff return. We're like a young Reggie Barlow or something. I don't know.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
It was a 79-yard return for Puka Williams Jr., but Jordan Ta'amu in the offense couldn't poke it in. They settled for a field goal. Here's Travis Johnson on the return. Tried to go hurdle. What a great idea. Meanwhile, Delonte Scott talking with Katie George.
Delonte, you're starting on the back foot after a return like that. How big was that stop on defense?
Man, it was big for us to get that, man. Especially in, they get a long kick return like that, something we can't allow to happen. So, for us to come out there back against the wall and, stand up, that's what we came here to do. We came here to play defense and keep the at least amount of points as we can on this scoreboard. You know what I mean? So that's what we're here to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The ball is attempt. Meanwhile, Puka Williams Jr. had that long return, but he got stopped, Cole.
Puka, I was going to ask you how you got caught, but I just caught you right there. So how'd that happen?
Man, honestly, I just can't get the rhythm with the knee brace. Just can't get the rhythm, but next one I'm punching it in.
What's the best time we've ever put up? 40, 100, anything?
In the 40, 4.35, 4.34 pro day, 4.35. So, yeah.
That's enough.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I said it, man. I've called Puka's games dating back to when he was at Kansas. I've never seen him get caught. So that knee brace got to be heavy.
Cone swings it out to Zacchaeus Patrick. Francis Bernard with another stop for DC. Tied with Northrop for tackles on the season. Bernard coming off of a 10-tackle performance last week against Arlington. This is a DC team that's favored by 3.5 in this game. 8-1 on the season. Only one blemish on their record.
Down, Vegas, right. Let's go, let's go.
The favorites to win the entire thing.
You got the flare. We out, Vegas. We go. Lady, my son.
That was Akers in motion. They go to him. And then Akers turns upfield and takes it to the 48-yard line.
They're doing a good job of creating some confusion against the man coverage that DC likes to live in. Right there, they get into a bunch. They create the bunch by motioning down, and they get Akers on the angle route that's so difficult to cover. It was timed up beautifully, and it was a nice conversion for the Brahmas.
Omaha, go!
Late in the first quarter, second possession for San Antonio. Patrick stopped for a loss of 1. XFL continues tomorrow on ESPN starting at 3 o'clock. Houston against Arlington. The Renegades trying to play their way into the postseason. And we finish with Vegas against Seattle. Every game this weekend, final week of the regular season, has playoff implications. That includes St. Louis, which started the week putting 53 on Orlando. A.J. McCarron threw for 6 touchdowns. Battlehawks won 53-28 in the Dome. Some complicated tie-breaking situations with Seattle. That's St. Louis's path to the North Division playoff next week in D.C. So that'll bring it into the first quarter, and what an entertaining one at that. DC has scored on both possessions thanks to a long kickoff return for Puka Williams. And San Antonio tried to answer again. Back to the Alamo Dome in a moment.
All unique and special in their own specific way. But just across the board, I think the best player is Bryce Young. He's the most consistent. I think he's done more under the circumstances with maybe not having a superior offensive line in front of him the last couple years, and did so against top-tier competition. I think Bryce Young's a really good player.
Jack Cone facing the pressure, and he finds Patrick with a beautiful catch as it flies down in the backfield. And Patrick rumbles all the way up inside the 25. A 33-yard catch and run for the former Florida State Seminole.
Take that.
He's probably coming back, too.
62. Offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And it was a save-a-life hold. You're going to see as the defender rushes upfield, immediately Dwayne Wallace is beat, but you see him grab with that left arm. If he doesn't make that hold, there's no way the ball gets out. Jack Cone might get sacked, fumbled, what have you. So obviously when you're beat off the ball that badly, it's about the only option you have, and it was a good call by the officials.
74 Auburn is the play call. If I had time, I'd ask Cole about it. 3rd and 21. Cone sandwiched and taken down. And a DC party in San Antonio. Andre Mintz from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, too bad Gabe Wright not in there.
Jacob Panashuk the other.
And you only have a 3-man rush. There's 3 defenders that are rushing the quarterback against a 5-man protection. You have 5 guys to block 3, and you get beat inside. Just not good from a leaky offensive line that has had their fair share of struggles this year.
Brad Wing absolutely crushes this ball. Got it inside the 5. Puka Williams can only take it out to the 15. That was a 63-yard punt. Here's Hines Ward on that last play.
How they get a sack on 3-man rush?
Well, that's what DC has done all season, either with pressure or without. First empty possession for San Antonio.
Ready.
There's Joe Tomo with the slide down. Let's take a look at what Jack Cohn, and we got a flag on the hit. What Jack Cohn is looking at on the tablet right now.
I think it was with his helmet. Hold up. Slow down.
He went over the top. He went over the top.
Back up. Pick it up. There is no foul for a late hit on the sliding quarterback. Second down.
And Sean Williams, who's in on it, picked the flag up.
And I think the initial thought was that the contact was made with the helmet. They threw the flag. Dean and company cleaned it up. He went over the top, and there was no illegal contact. That was a good job by the officials.
On second down and 3. A bullet from Tamu. That's good for a first down. Finds Alex Ellis. Meanwhile, Jack Cohn learning on the sideline. That's a live look at the tablet that he's watching. He's watching the DC pressure.
And it's so cool to know, and obviously he's not looking at the offensive line. I can promise you that. There's nothing you can do about that, but he is looking at the coverage, and he's taking note. See top right, 3rd and 21. Hey, next time we're in 3rd and long, this is what they ran. So it's good to kind of compartmentalize those situational down distant play calls.
Chris Blair with room to run. The league's most dangerous deep threat takes it himself, and he gets taken down at the 2-yard line. 70-yard gain to Chris Blair, who leads the league in 40-plus yard receptions.
And just excellent timing on the glance route. Makes a guy miss. And he's off to the races. You could see the speed on display from Chris Blair. Just can't quite get away as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Either way, this DC offense continues to keep the pedal pressed.
70-yard reception. He did most of the work himself. 58 yards after the catch. Tenny Adewuse is injured. Here's Cole Kubelik.
When did you know you had him on that route?
The middle of the field was open, so once I broke in, I seen the safety was back, I knew Jordan was coming to me.
How did you get caught?
Tired. Nah, no excuse, though. I got to get in the box.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Played for Fred McNair at Alcorn State. Was undrafted coming out of college. Ended up spending some time with the Packers. And that is NFL speed he just flashed.
Heavy right, 28. On the clock, ready.
3 tight ends in the game for DC. Abram Smith, the running back. Tamu out of the pistol. Smith surges and gain of 1. Rico Jeffers on the stop for San Antonio.
Heavy left, 72, P-Mac. 72. That's 2.
2nd and goal.
Get on now. Ready.
Tamu lobs it wide open is Alex Ellis. DC has scored on every possession. No kicking extra points in this league. They'll decide on the point after.
Just a great job there executing the mesh concept where you have 2 shallow crossing routes. You try to see if a defender gets picked. The defender's slow to cover Alex Ellis, who's crossing with speed. And he's wide open for another defender touchdown.
They're going to go for 2 from the 5-yard line. Pressure coming up the middle. And another conversion for DC. This time it goes to Brandon Smith. And the best team in the league flexing its muscles, wanting to go into the postseason, hitting on all cylinders. And the San Antonio fans know that it is a steep hill to climb here. Jordan Ta'amu is zoned for 2 touchdowns here in the first half. DC leads by 16. Yes, the party rolls on. Unfortunately for the home team, not much of a party here in the first half, early second quarter. And DC leads 19-3. It's a must-win game for San Antonio and their postseason hopes. The live line has jumped. DC given 15.5 points. They came in favored by 3.5.
It's a lot of points. I don't know. I mean, they're playing inspired football on offense so far, and the special teams giving them great field position with a couple big plays.
Fred Brown from the 2. Not a great return. Meanwhile, on the other side for San Antonio, it's been a game of missed opportunities.
Single high. You got him. You got him. Oh my goodness.
Gosh dang it on that dang.
Did you see it?
Well, it was 1 high, and I was like, I think Vash is going to be good on this. So I saw Vash, and then the corner fell off. My son.
Missed chance for Jack Cohen and the San Antonio offense. And he sidearms one to the sideline. Long throw to net 4 yards to Fred Brown.
What he's talking about, when it's 1 high, that means there's 1 safety deep in the middle of the field. He's going to stay over the top and cover the post, but he thought there might have been an opportunity on the crossing route, which there was. He just took a little longer than he anticipated, and he didn't have the patience to wait.
Here's John Hilleman.
Which, by the way, it's real easy to say, well, have a little more patience. Have a little. You know, the coaches have been telling them all week, hey, man, you got to get the ball out against these guys. They're going to blitz. They're going to pressure. So it's a delicate balance of allowing things to uncover and being patient enough for things to develop while still understanding the shot clock in your head that's been drilled into your head all week long. You're still in line with that as well.
Playoffs are next week. We'll be in D.C. on Sunday. This defenders team still waiting to see who their opponent will be in a North Division battle. Hilleman, and what a sensational second effort he's shown every time he's touched the ball. Undrafted free agent of the Giants coming out of Rutgers in 2019. Got a start against the Patriots that year as a rookie.
Nothing open play side, but he gets it back on around to the left and makes it 4th and inches to at least give the Brahmas an opportunity to think about it.
San Antonio 8 of 14 on 4th down this season. They're going to leave the offense out there.
Omaha, go!
They're going to run it looking for 1, and they got it. Something really interesting Hines Ward told us before the game today, and reiterated Katie on air. He said it's not just about getting into the playoffs. These guys know there are more scouts watching this game than have watched all season. It's a chance to prove that you belong.
Yeah, it's what have you done for me lately type of approach. The first thing the scouts look at when evaluating these guys, debating whether or not to bring them to camp, is what was the last time out and how did you look? So hugely important tape for these guys if they want to advance their career.
Cohen delivers on time against the pressure. He finds Nick Hawley for a gain of 16.
Really nicely done up front, too, by Rubens Joseph. Accurate pass over the middle. If you look at DC defensively, that's where they've been hit a lot. Right there in the middle of the field between the numbers. That's really the attack zone with the style of defense that Greg Williams likes to play.
Here's Chuckes Patrick. I want to go back to what we were just talking about a moment ago, Greg, about the scouts watching. The XFL is unique among the spring leagues. It's finishing the regular season done before the draft. These guys will have an opportunity from a calendar standpoint to then get into camps.
That's why it's by far the most appealing league to me, and it's because of the calendar. If for whatever reason you get banged up, you can recover and still potentially compete in the fall for an NFL team. So the calendar works out great. You get your regular season done, get an evaluation period, now hopefully get an opportunity to go to camp somewhere.
Meanwhile, it's not just the players trying to make it to the next level, it's the officials too. And in fact, just this week, line judge Jay Bilbo received an NFL deal, so he'll be moving on to the next level. One of 2 XFL officials that picked up an NFL contract this week.
77, 77, 77.
Well, congratulations to those 2.
There's a mic.
3rd and 5.
Yep. Vegas. We go. Whitey, my son.
And they're going to bring the house, and they got to call in a hurry. There's no question that Anthony Hines was coming. Greg Williams not happy. There's continued action after the whistle.
He had the wrong position.
Area, 4th down.
It was not intentional grounding, and 4th down. And another punting opportunity for Brad Wing.
And this is called hey diddle diddle 3 up the middle. All right, why? Because there's 3 defenders that are coming right between the guards. So it's an you can't block it. You just know as a quarterback, it's one of the 4 or 5 different protections where you're dead. Ball's got to get out immediately, and they did a good job of covering the outlet for Cone.
I'm so glad you didn't turn that into an Andrew Dice Clay skit. 40-yard punt for Brad Wing. Andrew Hines with the pressure. DC in control of this one. A beautiful afternoon on the Riverwalk in San Antonio. Well, the DC Defenders have been the class of the league all season long. They haven't lost a single game in their division. They'll host the North Division Championship next week. Best rushing team in both yards per game and touchdowns on the season. They played 2 different quarterbacks in Tamu and King. They win close games, 5-1 and 1-score games this season, which in the XFL is any game decided by 8 points or less. Derek King now in at quarterback. And he hands it off on 1st down to Abram Smith, who's the league's leading rusher. There's so many things that DC does well, and quite frankly, it's a very simple attack.
It's so simple for the offense, but it forces the defense to cover so much. As you can see, Derek King, it's another example of, hey, it's simple. Just switch out the quarterback and the offense almost completely changes. Derek King, of course, a decorated college player at both Houston and Miami with great mobility.
And he slings it on the run to Hot Sauce Hammond, who takes it out to the 30. Hammond, 4 years as a Florida Gator.
And this is really not that different than triple option. You read the dive player, and then your quarterback's keeping it, and your pitch man just happens to be in front of you, so it becomes a completion. And if it falls incomplete, it falls incomplete.
King, complete. That's Brandon Smith, the offensive coordinator. Here's Fred Keiss.
Spread right, wide, spread right, wide. Lady, lady, lady.
Spread right, wide, lady. Spread right, wide, lady, lady. Lady, 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 lady. Right, ready.
There's Smith.
That's right, Red Cleveland. Cleveland. Red. Here we go. Red.
King to throw. And a fastball complete to the 50-yard line. It's Ethan Wolf.
Shift right, Linda. Shift right, Linda.
They've got the Brahmas on their heels here. 2nd and 3. No huddle again.
Ready.
Pressure picked up. Smith trying to sneak out of there. He does and lowers his shoulder for the first down. Incredible run by Abram Smith.
You can see, I mean, having played linebacker, he is certainly not afraid of contact. Watch how he dips the shoulder, finishes the run, boom. Continues to surge a little bit forward instead of going out of bounds right there. It'd been easy to do that. Instead, he spins out of it and finds a way to gain a couple more yards.
Big 12 champs at Baylor went to the Sugar Bowl.
Ready.
A little bit high that time from King, and there's a flag on the play.
Offense number 78.
To Marcus Hayes, the right tackle.
Left tackle. Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Pardon me, the left tackle. Right in the middle of your screen.
You can see right there that right arm working against Mike Scott. Of course, the two brothers for the Brahmas, Delonte Scott and Mike Scott, both have taken turns at that edge position, making a lot of plays against opposing offenses.
Easy for the equipment guy, just one nameplate. King tipped and falls harmlessly to the ground, trying to work it into Chris Blair. Cameron Kelly still on the turf. Kelly had a pick a couple weeks ago against Houston.
Ball just a little bit high here for De'Aaron King. Of course, gets hit as he's delivering the football. Kelly kind of awkward as the contact happens here at the bottom. You see him kind of get bent backwards a little bit. Looks like he's going to be able to walk off under his own power. Thank goodness for that.
Was in the league with the Steelers, played in 14 of their games in 2019, coming out of San Diego State. Well, he was first team All Mountain West Conference.
Hey, spread right, 53. I want to one, ready? 53. Other side, huh? Yeah. Here we go. Ready.
2nd and 20. King taken down from behind. Could not lose Beasley. The Michigan State product, who's top 5 in the league in sacks.
Just great hustle around the edge. You see him working and engaged with Kyle Murphy. Beats him around, and as De'Aaron King is trying to buy a little time, he can't escape Beasley, who closes quickly. Just fortunate that King wasn't in a passing posture, because that ball very easily could have come out with the right-handed quarterback.
Drop bait on 3rd and long. He can't run for it, too far, and he flicks it going down. Flag down, catch made. And De'Aaron King was 3 steps past the line of scrimmage.
Illegal forward pass. Reggie, you got that? Illegal forward pass.
It's not
Are you caught it? Hold body for it.
Yep. All right, Dan, we're going to go 5 yards from the spot of the foul. Loss it down.
De'Aaron King
down.
certainly aware of the rule. He said, my whole body?
From Jay's flag.
Every body part was past the line?
My whole body wasn't past the line.
Illegal forward pass.
You can see right here.
Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down.
Clearly
Fourth
about
down.
a yard in front of the original line of scrimmage. You can see that black line there. Unofficially, that's the line of scrimmage, but you can tell probably about a yard beyond. So a good call by the official.
Any body part behind the line means the whole body's behind the line. Wouldn't be a penalty on King. That's what he was trying to claim. linebackers forced out after a 42-yard punt and a 5-yard return. Katie George, what do you got?
Talking with Drew Beasley. Drew, first stop of the game for the defense. How will that build momentum going into halftime?
Well, I think it helps us going into halftime. You know, they've been getting their way most of the first half. You know, we adjusted, and you know, we're hopefully that carries us into the second half of the rest of the game.
You're top 5 in the league in sacks. Why is that?
Effort, man. Just effort. You know, just keep going, keep chopping, and don't stop till the job's done.
Thank you.
Yep.
Vegas.
First and 10 for San Antonio. The offense led by Jack Cohn. Here's Jaquez Patrick, who dances his way for a first down. Santos Ramirez is stopped. Beasley, not only a guy who can get to the quarterback, but had a monster play last week against Orlando, clinging to a 2-point lead in the fourth quarter. Beasley got his hands in this pass, decided to take it himself, and sealed the win for the Brahmas with a pick 6.
Yeah, great play here. Obviously tipping it up and reeling it in, taking it to pay dirt. This Brahmas defense has made a ton of plays like that to keep them in games this year.
7 quarterback pressures in the last 2 weeks for Beasley, most in the league. Cohn taken down by blitzing Francis Bernard. Joey Porter leading the linebackers over there on the San Antonio sideline. Porter family getting ready for the NFL draft. Joey Porter Jr. expected to go in the first round. We hit the 2-minute warning. DC leading by 16, looking to hit the postseason on a run. San Antonio needs a comeback and a win to move on. Back in the end zone. A strike to TJ Vasher. Front Brown, 96 yards to the house. Ball's on the ground. San Antonio with the scoop.
It ain't personal, it's business.
2 teams vying for the final spot in the playoffs with Houston. San Antonio could clinch a spot with a win and an Arlington loss. Win would give San Antonio the tiebreaker. And wait to see what Bob Soup's team does tomorrow afternoon. Oh, man. In a must-win game, those are must-have plays.
It's a well-thrown ball, man. It's your #1 wide receiver with plenty of cushion, plenty of separation. It's one that you just have to have. If you're a quarterback, you got to trust them to make that play again. Got to keep looking in Vasher's direction.
3rd and 10 now. They go to Patrick. And he gets thrown down for a gain of only 3. Santos Ramirez. Isaiah Johnson in on the tackle for DC. Ramirez was a standout at Arkansas. It's a team captain for the Razorbacks in 2017. Tied for 5th in the league with 2 picks this year. A sack on the last possession led to a punt. Now a drop pass eventually leads to a punt on this possession for San Antonio. Booker Williams from the 15 after that 45-yard punt. Episode 7 of the 9-part XFL docuseries Player 54 Chasing the Dream premieres this Wednesday, 3:30 on ESPN2, then immediately available on ESPN Plus. If you missed an episode, you can catch up on the series as all 6 previous episodes live on ESPN Plus. To get ESPN Plus, go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app. Jordan Ta'amu, the quarterback.
Yo. I'm going to cut you.
Ta'amu, a little fake and a run, and he slides in for a pickup of 5.
Here we go.
Here's Frick Ice.
All right, we're going to go to it then. Look, we're going to go flex. We're going to go flex right queen. Flex right queen.
Flex right queen. Flex right queen. Hey, flex right.
DC taking a timeout here, looking at a 2nd and 5. Fred Keiss is an incredible coaching story. He'd been with Reggie Barlow at Alabama State as offensive coordinator previous to this, but his first head coaching job was at Southwestern High School, inner city Baltimore. And when he first took the job in 1990, he was one of 2 white people at the school total. The only other one was the principal. The players and families weren't happy he got the job. They boycotted him. Only 19 showed up that first season. 2nd and 5 now. There we go. They'd been on a long losing streak. He eventually turned the program around. Here's Josh Hammond. Picks up a first down and a gain of 25. And an injured player. We had an incredible visit with Coach Keiss before the game today. Just salt to the earth, football through and through.
Just a phenomenal person. He's an ordained minister, but he's also a plumber. So he can do everything. He's really an amazing person. And one thing that's been really remarkable in visiting with him and kind of following his story is he gets people to believe. You referenced his first job, 19 players after a boycott. They ended up in the 2nd year going 5-4. I mean, just a remarkable turnaround with only a few guys, most of which playing both ways, most of which playing almost every single snap of the game. And he's been on a wild ride ever since, from the high school level to the college level, throughout the HBCUs, been at many different stops, and a guy that continues to relate to players and bring out the best in them every single place he's been.
Couple of national championships with Hampton back-to-back, 2003 and 4. Tamu leaves the pocket again due to pressure. Beasley got a hand on it and almost forced a fumble.
You guys mentioning offensive coordinator Fred Keiss for DC. I looked up his bio when we had this game, and it stopped in 2017. So when we got on the call, I asked him, Coach, what happened after 2017? Where'd you go? He said, well, I was semi-retired coaching at Good Pasture Christian High School in Nashville. Told me he started out as the OC, then went to be the quarterback coach. Said they had about 26 kids on their football team.
Well, he's done it with fewer. Here's a completion to Lucky Jackson. Another huge play for Jackson. This one goes for 29. And his former coach, Reggie Barlow, called him up, convinced him to come to the XFL.
Didn't take much convincing either, did it, Tom? Because it was actually Keiss's wife who said, you are so unhappy semi-retired. Please go back to work. You cannot stay away from the game. So it was a really good timed call by Coach Barlow.
And look, I know there's some coordinators in this league that have a stronger pedigree, that have spent more time at the professional level, some of which are calling plays for the first time. There's so many different great stories to learn here in the XFL. Just phenomenal to get to know all these amazing people. And obviously Fred Keiss being one of them. But watching his offense and studying his offense the last 10 weeks, I'm probably more impressed with him than anybody else. Now, it helps when you have great quarterbacks, helps when you have a great running back and 2 great wide receivers and an excellent tight end. But the way he mixes tempo and the way he forces you to defend the entire field, I think his offense is really, really interesting, rooted in run-and-shoot principles and a lot of difficult things to defend.
Tamu picked off. It's Jordan Williams with the interception. The league's leading tackler has been a playmaker all season for San Antonio. That's his first pick, and it's a 34-yard return to give the Brahmas a chance with 33 seconds left in the half.
Every single time San Antonio has to have a shot in the arm. Their offense all season long has had their fair share of difficulties. Their defense always seems to find a way to at least keep them in the game. Jordan Williams did it against Arlington a few weeks ago where he had the game-changing fumble return to the house. He does it again here in a 2-minute situation to give the ball back to his offense with the Brahmas getting a chance to steal some points.
Fourth possession of the game for San Antonio. Cone gets taken down. Oh, it looked like a face mask from up here. Gerald Owens, and here's a flag late.
We're at the 48, we're at the 48, we're at the 48.
mask on the tackle. So good there.
Francis Bernard got into it late, and we got a second flag down.
Post-play action. So
you can hear Dean Blandino reviewing the play back in the XFL Command Center.
I've got no face mask on the tackle, but let's see what we got.
I got a
He's clearly grabbing the jersey.
In the offense. UNS?
Huh?
Remember, if
UNR
there's contact, it's UNR. If there's contact, it's
contact,
UNR.
59 UNR. I've got UNS 96. We're going to offset them at the dead ball spot.
And that's his first.
In their first, and it's going to be second down.
Got it.
All right, the down's going to count.
Unsportsmanlike and unnecessary roughness coming.
Okay.
One for each side.
After the play, there were fouls by both teams. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense number 59. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 96. That's his first. The foul's offset. It's second down.
Check in with Katie George.
Jordan, you said you can't believe that you caught that ball, but it looked like a sure thing. What'd you see?
Oh, man, I just knew he was throwing the ball low, so I just dropped out, and it came right to me. Oh, man.
This defense always seems to give the offense a shot in the arm when it needs it. Why is that?
Because, you know, we try to play complementary football, you know, so when the offense is not up to par where it needs to be, then we'll step up and we'll try to rise as much as we can. 50-50 or go to 70-30.
I dig the chain.
Hey, thanks so much.
Coming off of an 11-tackle performance last week against Orlando. Now 24 seconds left in the half. Jordan Williams, an incredible story. Didn't play a game for 3 years. He took up accomplished artist and a great linebacker. And then TJ Vasher for a gain of 14 and a timeout. With 15 seconds left in the half. And San Antonio desperate for a score here. Brahmas haven't scored since their opening possession. You want to see
San Antonio calls their second time.
So cool, too. I mean, you can see Arter's formerly known as Prince there. And then even for his head ball coach, giving him the ace of spades with the Brahma logo on it. Very, very talented. He even drew us a picture.
Oh, he did?
After the Arlington win.
Thanks, baby.
I don't recall what he drew.
I don't recall it. His favorite medium is charcoal. There wasn't any charcoal available.
No,
so
he went with the pen and paper, standard medium.
Artist looked big.
He either drew the Michelin Man or Cole Kublik. I wasn't sure which one, but they are somewhat indecipherable.
We look pretty similar right now.
We go.
Third and 5, 17 seconds left. Pressure from the edge. Over the middle for a first down. Akers takes it inside the 5, a 37-yard gain. 11 seconds left. They'll hurry to the line and get a spike to stop the clock. The Jordan Williams interception and subsequent return sets him up. Cone comes up with a huge completion against the Greg Williams pressure.
And terrific timing. You see the zone pressure. They're trying to double cover Vasher to the left-hand side. You see that safety dropping out over the top, which allows those slot receivers to freely work over the middle. It's exactly what Akers does. It's perfectly timed. And a very accurate throw from Cone. A big shot there that Akers took at the end of the play. Now you have to throw it. I don't think a field goal is going to win this game, so you got 3 downs here if you operate really, really quickly. Of course, with 9 seconds left, that ball is going to come out immediately. You do have a timeout at your disposal, but don't waste any extra time if you don't have to.
Patrick is the running back.
You got one-on-one with Vasher to the left-hand side.
Give it to Patrick. Took a lot of time. He lost the football at the line. 2 seconds left on the clock. DC came out of there with the football. Joe Wallace.
Whoa, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Hold it. Stop.
But he stays.
Stop.
As you can hear,
Stop.
Dean Blandino did the ball across the plane as he extended.
The ruling on the field
first thing he's probably going to look at here.
Recovered by the defense. The previous play is under further review.
He's on a body there and not down yet.
So the ball, I clearly don't have the ball in the end zone. But what I'm looking at is the right elbow, correct.
Oh, right elbow is down.
Everything is short, but I've got a right elbow. I just need to control. I just need to confirm control.
The second thing I'll have to look at, if that's what he decides, is time on the clock. It looked like 2 seconds.
2 seconds is probably about right. They have a timeout.
I still have control with the ball. Yes.
So you'll obviously fire the timeout immediately.
So we're going to go.
Don't love the play call there.
Reggie.
This is going to be an automatic timeout that we're going to charge for.
6 seconds.
Yes, sir, Dean.
Reggie, we have
7 seconds.
Ball down by contact at the half-yard line.
It's got to be on the half-yard line.
It's going to be 3rd and goal.
Okay.
Right. We're going to put 5 seconds on the game clock, and we're going to charge San Antonio their timeout.
Okay, gotcha.
And we can move it up. It's actually a little closer than the half. Make it a ball length short of the goal line.
You hear that? All right.
I mean, that is incredible insight as to how these things are decided.
It's down by contact with the ball at the half-yard line. It'll be 3rd down goal. San Antonio is charged with their 3rd and final timeout of the half, which will be 30 seconds in length.
So you got 1 play left. Go back to that same play.
I think you have a big body back now. Obviously, with 2 seconds left, it doesn't matter if you run or throw it. I do think if you throw it there on 2nd down,
we're going to put 5
seconds left. Wow. Okay.
Change things for you. You still have time to squeeze one off.
I would try to throw a back shoulder.
They're going to bring 0 probably.
So they don't have the play call yet. You can hear Cone right there reminding his guys, hey, if we throw it, expect pressure. I'd take my chances because a run play here, you're done. You don't have a chance on 4th down. I'd throw it here. See if I can't throw a fade on the back shoulder to Vasher, but it sounds like they're going to hand it off.
There's a handoff to Patrick, and he's in! San Antonio in a must-win game. Gets a late touchdown before he hit the half, and now they'll go for 2.
Great job there by Patrick, cutting back off the right tackle. Everything was being blocked down from right to left. He cuts right in behind and slices it vertical for a big touchdown for the Brahmas in a gotta-have-it situation.
Now San Antonio is 0 for 7 on 2-point conversions this year. Make it a 1-possession game, and the XFL get as many as 8 points in a single scoring play. Going back to the end zone. That's TJ Vasher. And they get their first 2-point conversion of the season.
Like we talked about a little earlier with Ta'amu, when you're throwing it high in the back of the end zone, you want a little air under that football so that your receiver can jump, time it up, and adjust in the air. That was really nicely done there by Jack Cone, and a great catch by TJ Vasher, bouncing back after the critical drop a little earlier in the 2-minute operation.
Efficient enough that there's still 3 seconds remaining in the half. Remember, it's always dangerous. Puka Williams set up for the return in a league that has a super touchback that can bring it out to the 50 if you kick it out of bounds. You got to kick it off.
Yeah, don't kick it out of bounds, whatever you do here.
There's Puka Williams. Can't find freedom, and that's how the half will end. So San Antonio finds some momentum thanks to Jordan Williams' interception, and then great work to get to the goal line. Katie George is with Hines Ward.
Well, things are in a much different place than just 2 minutes ago. Let's start with the defense. They get the stop, and then Jordan Williams gets the interception. They felt like they settled in as compared to the start of the game. What was the difference you saw in your defensive play?
Our players don't quit. You know, J-Dub came up with a huge turnover. We went down, scored a touchdown, got the 2-point conversion. We're only down 8, so we got to make some adjustments halftime, but we're in a ball game.
Last drive was absolutely needed. What did you like about the way the offense clicked?
We just executed down there for the 2-point conversion. That's something we worked on all week. We had the perfect call, the perfect setup, and we converted. So we're down 8, so we still got a half to go.
Thank you. Cole?
Katie, I was set up to visit with defensive coordinator Greg Williams, and he changed his mind last minute, said he was too pissed to do the interview and thought it would be in the best interest to skip it. So we'll get him coming out.
Well, we were afraid he was going to curse. Took care of that for him.
I think he probably knew it was in his best judgment to just go ahead and walk away.
19-11, his defense allows a score with 5 seconds to go. Coming up next, we'll get you locker room access. We'll walk through the very complicated XFL playoff scenarios. Our score at the half: the DC Defenders 19, San Antonio Brahmas 11. Get your full access, walk through the playoff scenarios and more. Our halftime coverage will start after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
I embrace my rival, but only to strangle him. As we start every meeting with a quote, now understand this: live on the edge, play on the edge, never hurt the team. Live on the edge, play on the edge, never hurt the team. But this does fit us. When you watch yourself play on film right now, is it the fastest you've ever played?
Ja'Cour Pearson upended. There's going to be some hitting here tonight.
Is it the fastest and the most violent you've ever played?
DC's defense just getting after it.
You will never get a criticism from me about playing fast and playing whoop-ass.
Into double coverage, and it's picked off. It's picked off, and it's a pick six with the flip.
When I fight someone, I want to break his will. I want to take his manhood.
DC coming away with the...
I want to rip out his heart and show it to him.
And he's going to be dropped.
This is who we are.
Picked off at the goal line.
All right, here we go. Make sure they hear us. Ready, break.
That is incredible access. All part of episode 7 of the 9-part XFL docuseries Player 54, Chasing the Dream. Premieres this Wednesday, 3:30 on ESPN2, then immediately available on ESPN+. You can catch up on all of the 6 previous episodes of the series on ESPN+. To get ESPN+, go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app. Inside the DC locker room.
He said, yeah, it was Texas right scroll. Yeah. Well, I thought maybe we should have went there. No, you just got to be aware that got dropped there.
Derek King and Jordan Ta'amu.
Or if they show this,
I thought they were all coming. That's why I thought you were going to be.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, 2 quarterbacks on one side, in with the bigs in the San Antonio locker room. Hines Ward, the head coach.
No more my bad, no more my mistakes. No, we got to be flawless, man. All right, offense, we get the ball back. Let's go down there and score.
Oh, yes.
It's a ball game. Defense,
oh, yes.
Make your adjustments. All right, them damn slants, no more.
No more.
Challenge them. All the DBs, get up there. Let's go. We got one more half. Give me all you got.
Come on now.
Finish on 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish. Let's go.
Oh, let's go, man.
Brahmas. ESPN's presentation of the XFL on ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Well, the XFL weekend started with this performance in front of an amazing crowd in St. Louis once again. A.J. McCarron had a day. Hooking up with Akeem Butler there, one of his 6 passing touchdowns. Go back to the end zone again. St. Louis had to convert an early 4th down, and then on the very next play, gave up a fake punt. They ran the Blandino again that went for an Orlando touchdown. They came off the ropes, exploded the second half for a 53-28 victory. There's going to be some math involved here. If you don't have an abacus, I'm sorry, or a calculator, but we're trying to push through it. Tom Hart with Greg McElroy, and we're joined now now by Dean Blandino. Dean, there's so many tiebreakers that are in play, and in a short season, we get down really low on some of those tiebreakers. Where do we stand right now in regard to where that St. Louis team and Seattle stand going into the final day tomorrow?
It's really interesting. Obviously, St. Louis won today. Now, if Seattle wins, you look at their record, it's the same. The next tiebreak would be head-to-head. They're 1-1. After that division record, they would both be 3-3. Then it would go to strength of victory. And amazingly, in their wins, you take both teams, their wins, look at the records of the teams they've beaten, it's the same. So now you're going to go to the fourth tiebreak, which is where they rank in the division, the combined rankings in points scored and points given up. You take those two numbers, you add them up, whoever has the lower number gets the tiebreak.
So essentially, you have to, it's not points differential. That, I think, is what's confused a lot of us. It's where you rank in your division relative to the amount of points scored versus given up. As far as the Brahmas are concerned, a win here would give them tiebreaker number 3 over Arlington, assuming Arlington loses tomorrow. So help us understand the South, Dean, if you could.
Sure. So the South would end at tiebreaker 3, which would be strength of victory, because DC, their record, they've got a good record. A win today would be great and would push San Antonio ahead in their strength of victory versus Arlington if Arlington loses tomorrow.
Dean, you do it all. I mean, you got it all figured out. Tiebreakers down to the decimal, and keeping all these guys in line as well. So here we go. San Antonio with a half to play for its season. Fred Brown takes the kickoff at the 10. Brown to the 25, short of the 30-yard line. Chaz Ferguson thinks the ball came out. It's still San Antonio football. Momentum's a fickle thing in football, Greg, and San Antonio inside 2 minutes seized the momentum in the first half.
They did, and their back was against the wall. I mean, DC was rolling offensively, really hadn't been stopped up to that point, and then sure enough, if you're just joining us, Jordan Williams is maybe the play of the season for the Brahmas to intercept a Jordan Ta'amu pass and to flip the field and immediately make what could have been a 23-point deficit into only an 8-point deficit at the end of the half.
Here's Jaquez Patrick, and he muscles his way to a gain of 6.
San Antonio's offense, it just didn't have a ton of rhythm there in the middle parts. Finished strong and started fast, but not a ton of rhythm between the two. Still have to find an answer for the protections and the pressures that Greg Williams is going to bring.
No pressure here on 2nd and 4. Dion Yelder with the grab. Jimmy Johnson is the play caller for San Antonio.
Stay nickel. Let's go double left close. 77 stick cut. Treat it like a quick. Double left close. 77 stick cut.
77.
You hear him say treat it like a quick, meaning get that ball out fast. Treat it like quick game. So that ball's got to come out immediately.
DJ Quick, he finds Patrick. Could be a San Antonio party tonight. It's a gain of 12.
He definitely got it out quick right here into the flat. It's a good catch, a good turn upfield by Patrick, who's a load if you're trying to tackle him at an angle.
242-pound bruiser.
Where's the mic? Vegas, we go. My son.
Safety blitz coming. Swing out to Patrick. Apartment. This is Hilleman coming out of the backfield now. He's able to pick up 9. Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator.
Cherokee, fire zone, Cherokee.
A lot of NFL experience for Williams.
You hear fire zone. Means pressure's obviously coming. Cherokee right here looks like corner with a C.
There it is. Out to Akers. Talking with Greg Williams this week. It's fun talking ball with the guy, but he mentioned something specific. So got 23 bogeys in play this weekend to disguise coverage? What's a bogey in that regard?
Bogey is something that would be a +1, meaning you can overload and add a guy. And basically, they're things that are unusual. So a corner blitz, overload pressure, the pressure we talked about earlier, hey diddle diddle, 3 up the middle. Those are your bogeys that are kind of one-offs that are difficult for an offense to prepare for.
My son.
Drop 8 again, and Cone fits it in to Nick Hawley, his second grab, goes for 7.
Really nice rhythm so far from Jack Cone on this opening drive of the second half. And you see the pinpoint accuracy there to the left pectoral, which teaches the wide receiver to turn that direction. So that was so accurate, they turned away from what would have been a big collision.
On 2nd and 3, Patrick had taken down, lost his help. You have to come out for a play.
All right, let's go, let's go. Trips up. 65 scan. 65 scan. 65 scan. Follow. We got the slam. We got the slam. Here we go. Here we go.
They're down at a long 4. Cone going to the end zone. Incomplete, but a flag down. Trying to find TJ Vasher.
Face mask defense on 39 during the play.
All right, so we're going to penalize half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Got injury on White.
It's on the number 3 receiver.
And it was on number 39, Brett?
That is correct.
Previous spot,
Yes.
Dan.
You got
Previous spot.
What do you want?
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 39. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Meanwhile, Isaiah Johnson grabbed at his hamstring in coverage. Santos Ramirez is the one who got flagged for the face mask.
Hey. Hey, trips right. 72, H, come right, don't pass. 72, 72, 72 on Vegas, ready.
8th play of the drive.
Here we go. Shift, shift, shift. Vegas. We go. Hey, my son.
Cone wanted to get to Hawley, instead throws it over to the sideline. Let's take a look at today's progressive first half stats.
As you can see, the rush yards for both teams kind of been hit or miss, but the passing attack for both teams been very much alive. A couple of huge plays for DC on great catch and runs by excellent wide receivers Chris Blair and Lucky Jackson, and then Jack Cone kind of picking them apart on the underneath with a couple throws downfield.
Pressure again. And Cone spiked in front of Patrick. Flag down.
He's offside. 6.
NCI.
NCI, so that was a...
No, I'm sorry. I meant to say DOF.
Gotcha, DOF. All right, we're going to go 5 yards, Dan.
DC 6, DOF accepted.
Marcus, what was that number again?
Number 6 for Fidal Brown.
Offside. Defense, number 6. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
You can see right there at the bottom of your screen, Fidal Brown, former Ole Miss Rebel, clearly in the neutral zone as the ball was snapped, getting a head start in his pass rush.
We go! Mighty! My son!
Opening drive of the half. Cone gets out of pressure. Flag down in the backfield. Joe Wallace, number 99, has been a load.
Holding. Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
And you'll see Laval right here working against the defensive tackle, tries to slip inside.
And just pulled down Joe Wallace.
Yeah, completely. Save a life. You get beat either way. At least hang on as best you can before he gets into the backfield. Good penalty if there ever was one, I suppose.
On 2nd and 15, they try to run it with Patrick, and he gets taken down. Reed, drafted by the Lions in 2014 out of Princeton. First two-time first-team All-American Princeton for 2 decades when he was a senior.
74, who's the mic?
Oh, they're going to drop the house. Not bring the house, drop the house. 3rd and 16, the first down line is the 2. They're well covered. TJ Vasher held well short. Kevon Fuller the stop.
Obviously not the result you want if you're San Antonio, but still, first drive to the second half. You get into a nice rhythm offensively. The holding penalty inside the 10 ultimately stymies the drive, but either way, walk away with points. You got to feel good about some of the adjustments you made at halftime.
28-yard attempt for Parker Romo. And it's good. Makes it a 5-point game. San Antonio has scored on consecutive possessions for the first time today. Jet Cohen back to the drawing tablet.
The responsibility for a couple of calls in that first half. What did you want to change about how you're calling this game?
Well, the big thing is this, is that a while ago, as I put one of our defensive ends out on a fire zone on that one long catch right there, he did a really good job. It was just a mismatch of a really good wide receiver on the defensive end. If I could get that call back, I'd change it. Plus, also, we got to get there when it takes that long, okay, to throw the ball down the field. So our rush in the fire zone needed to get there to help that young man who did a very good job with coverage. The big thing is we just got to continue to make them earn everything. Tackle well, okay? We haven't tackled as well as we normally do, okay? And then no free plays. These guys have been really good about that all year. Thank you, Coach. You betcha.
Greg Williams on ball. Here's Puka Williams Jr. And he gets stuck at the 24-yard line. Jack Cohen with Katie George.
Jack, back-to-back drives that result with points. How would you describe the offensive efficiency right now?
Yeah, I mean, we had an efficient last drive, just able to get the ball out quick, find the open spots, and just got to keep doing that.
They bring a lot of pressure. What's the key to managing it?
Just everyone's got to be on the same page. I think communication's huge for picking up pressure. Just receivers and O-line, knowing who's hot, knowing who's not. So that's the biggest thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cohen's coming off of his best game of the season, 300 yards passing last week. Tomo gets it out. Still on his feet to pick up a first down is Alex Ellis.
Texas left. 23 duo. Zeke Lance. 23 Texas. Zeke Lance.
Cole, you got some duo. Tell us about it.
Duo just basically going to focus on those double teams inside run, but you heard that glance, which is going to give you the RPO option as well.
Yeah, you can throw the slot receiver on a slant if you like it.
There it is. And it goes for the first down. That seems like a very simple combination of plays.
It's so simple. In your eyes as a quarterback, as soon as you put the ball in the belly of the back, you're looking at that weak side linebacker. If the weak side linebacker steps up at all, you can throw it right in behind him, and that's exactly what they did here.
Beasley was offsides for San Antonio. Free play for Ta'amu. Jordan Ta'amu run a lot of similar plays at Ole Miss.
Very similar.
Offside. Defense number 33. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Ole Miss, of course, and Hugh Freeze. Of course, right here, you see the offside by Beasley led to a free play for DC. But Ole Miss and Hugh Freeze, most of their offense was predicated off of RPO, where there are 3 different options on every single play. Hand off to the running back, quarterback run, or throw it. He's excellent at feeling those zones.
Huge gap for Abram Smith to run through. Picks up 11.
just a massive hole right here between the center, Ty Cleary, and the right guard, Liam Fornadell. Just a massive void there that Abe Smith's going to hit every time.
Tamu on the run. Through the hands. Trying to get it to Puka Williams Jr.
It's a good effort there by Puka Williams. Of course, running back in that situation. I know he's listed as a running back / wide receiver, but definitely has spent more time in the backfield than he has in the slot. Would have been a tough one for him to reel in.
They released Raquel Armstead late this week. They added Cameron Harris at the running back position. Tamu on the run again. Through the hands of Chris Blair. That leaves 3rd and 10. Every XFL game this weekend, the final week of the regular season with playoff implications. Complete to Josh Hammond. Hammond can scoot a little bit for good reason. His entire family loves old school roller skating. The 4 wheels, not the inline.
Oh yeah, not the roller blades.
Not the roller blades. This is like
talking like disco era.
That's right. Maybe do some limbo.
There you go. You've been known to boogie in the roller rink a couple times, haven't you?
No doubt. A skater in my 5th grade class, 49-yard attempt for Matt McCray. Got the leg, and he's got the accuracy. And DC takes an 8-point lead. 4:43 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's a must-win game for San Antonio against the best team in the XFL, and DC with the lead. ESPN's presentation of the XFL on ABC. We'll return after this message and a word from our ABC station. Today's game flow is brought to you by Progressive.
No, his forearm is down. His elbow is down. His elbow is down.
Holy Jack. Dang, bro. Hey, you should have thrown that screen and go out and picked it off. Dude, I know, dude. Dang.
That was a crackback block over there on the kickoff return. That's a crackback. I'm the king of crackback, so I know when I see crackback, no one called it over there.
Hey, we good, baby. We good, baby. We good. We good. We good. We good. We good. We good. We good.
Boom! Yeah!
This is a high-stress situation. Second half of a must-win game for Hines Ward. King of the crackback, self-proclaimed.
He's definitely up. I mean, if I'm thinking like all-time great crackback blocks, he probably owns 3 or 4 of them.
I mean, who would even be close second?
He's like the king of crackback blocks. Honestly, Cole, like I don't know if I could think of any.
No, not like he did it.
No.
Especially the amount of times.
Final week of the regular season. San Antonio needs to win today, and an Arlington loss tomorrow to extended season. Here's Fred Brown. Fred Brown popped at the 25.
Sometimes I think with Hines Ward, when we watched him play growing up, Cole, and you are a diehard Steelers fan, so you get all starstruck every time we do a San Antonio game. But I think he was just born in the wrong body. Like, he's a defensive lineman.
Oh,
you know, that's really what he's a killer. Like, he was a defensive lineman that wants to just rip your heart out. He just was born to be a little bit smaller, so he had to revert to quarterback / wide receiver, and it played it beautifully.
Here's Hilliman.
Would you agree with that, Cole?
Absolutely. Well, it was interesting before the game. He told us why they picked up Nick Holley at wide receiver. Played running back, quarterback, wide receiver, return kicks at Kent State, and said he's a football player. Guy's just a football player. And you think about how specialized we've become in almost all sports these days, positions, certain things that you do at a certain position. That's what Hines was to me, man. I played against him when I was at Auburn. He was at Georgia. The dude was just a football player at the end of the day.
He's a lot younger than you. I don't know what do you mean? He's way younger than you.
Actually older.
Second and 7. Cone has showed some real poise in this game. He hooks up with Landon Akers, picks up a first down in a gain of 17.
So Akers is starting to have a day now. I mean, those little quick underneath throws, he knows exactly where he needs to be, and Cone has clearly developed a rapport with him on some of the underneath option routes. They're going to continue to hit that over and over again if Greg Williams continues to bring the heat.
Season high 88 yards for Akers. Cone looking for Alize Mack, this tight end. The former Domers hook up here, and Mack with his stiff arm picks up a first down.
Let's go. Floss left. 269 stick drag. Fire zone. Geronimo. Floss left. 269 stick drag. Geronimo. They have 12 personnel. Geronimo.
You're going to have stick right here. That's where you should go against a fire zone.
Indeed, Mack inside the sideline to pick up another first down. Why is that where you want to go?
Because if you throw a slant, especially with guys dropping out underneath it, fire zone means guys are dropping out underneath it. Now, you can throw into the pressure if you want, but if you have pressure occasionally working the outbreakers where you can immediately jump leverage, there's not going to be any trash out there, is where you want to go with the football. You can get surprised by throwing an in-breaker against a drop end.
Here's Akers again. And he gets flipped down. There's a flag on the play. Dula Kelly.
He's mass 24.
We're the run in.
Jay, what do you have?
The 30, so we're going to go 15 yards to the 15 auto first. Number, one more time.
24.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 24. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
As you can see, Kelly on the outside, grabbed the face mask right there, continues to hold on to it. Makes a nice play, but unfortunately that hand got up a little too high. He gets penalized yet again.
73, ready. Nice, red left squeeze. Who's over here? Red left squeeze.
6 seconds on the clock.
Better hustle. Omaha.
And they'll use the timeout.
Well, they can't get lined up right. What are y'all can't hear?
We weren't aligned. What happened on the phone? They went to Detroit.
Last week of the regular season, and we finish up with a doubleheader tomorrow. Arlington can win against Houston and get a rematch with Houston in the South Division playoff next week. They need to win just to make the postseason. Meanwhile, Seattle battling with St. Louis for postseason berth. They're home against the Vipers at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. As always, every game streams on ESPN+. Seattle DC would make for a really interesting game next week in the playoffs.
That would be a barn burner.
Take the over already?
I think the over will be at 78, and I might fire the over.
Stop it.
A lot of points will be scored if those are the two teams that match up for the North Division Championship.
Going to plant their flag in enemy territory.
Who's the mic? Vegas. Yeah, you're on this way. No, you're going out that way. You're going out.
It's Hilleman, the running back.
My son.
There he goes. Cullen steps up, stumbles, gains 3.
Good hit. Come on.
2nd and 7. Akers back in the game.
369.
He's their leading receiver, 8 catches for 90 yards. jump ball, batted away. Kelly knocked it out of Vasher's hands. Make up for the face mask.
Really well defended here. Playing them off and inside. Playing man coverage, but still keeping your eyes in the backfield, tracking the ball completely. A lot of contact, but high pointing it nicely. As you can see, the official standing right there at the front pylon.
75 on Vegas, ready.
Doesn't see that hand on the back of Vasher. That was well defended.
You're the Honda fan, I'll come. Hey, you lined up.
Talking to 88, Alizé Mack.
Saying if they all blitz, I'm coming to you.
Instead they drop 8. Cole goes the other way. That's Akers, and he squeezes forward. It's Nick Holley, and he's just short of the goal line. First and goal coming for San Antonio. Trailing by 8. Remember, 8 points makes it a 1-score game.
That looked like Hines Ward right there. I mean, just getting low, getting skinny, getting vertical immediately, and stretching as far as you possibly can. Pick up the first down, but just short of the end zone.
Dome's about to get rowdy if they can punch it in. Hilliman in. Touchdown, San Antonio. Biggest party of the year outside, turning into a big party inside.
Great surge, play side, and continuing to drive. Hilliman has really run angry all day today, refusing to be denied.
Back to Bass right, 76 going next lane, Flair on Vegas, ready. Who's the mic?
If you get man coverage, watch the motion. If the defender runs with the motion guy, now you hit your slant right here.
Bone looking for him. Threw it late, intercepted, or at least broken up by Fuller. What threw off the timing of that from the QB perspective?
They played inside leverage, so when you have a slant, it's very, very difficult to win inside. You look at the defender and where he's lined up. You get exactly what you want defensively. You're getting man coverage, but usually in man coverage, unless it's all-out pressure, look at the defender. Look how far inside Vasher even turns his hips and won't allow him to cross face. That was really well defended there by Trayvon Fuller, as they brought the pressure, all-out pressure, inside leverage, and they just can't win across his face. In a perfect world, you'd have a fade there, you'd have an out route there, but couldn't get the hand signal.
With the slant, the fade?
In a perfect
somebody
world,
else.
For instance, Peyton Manning sees that, he's giving him a quick signal to the out route, meaning he's going to run to the front pylon. The guy's 2 yards inside, he can't cover an out route, so give a quick hand signal, and next thing you know, Vasher would run a 5-yard out and walk into the end zone to be a laugher.
It's interesting that you compared it, though, to Peyton Manning, one of the greatest ever. How common is that at the next level to be able to identify it and change it in that scenario?
You have to have the freedom to do so from your offensive coordinator, first and foremost. Secondly, you got to be on the same page with your wide receivers. And obviously, game 10 in a new league, maybe they haven't quite developed that chemistry to be able to work in tandem and work in unison like that just yet.
But Jack Cohn's got San Antonio in a must-win within 2. Trying to take down the top team in the league and get to the postseason. ESPN's presentation of the XFL and ABC will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Luke, you guys have found a really good rhythm on offense. What's been the difference through your eyes?
I think the guys are they keep working. We're starting to get some energy, getting guys fired up, crowds fired up. So we just got to keep working, keep playing, and we'll have good results.
What's it been like going against that pressure?
They're definitely throwing a lot of things at us, but we can handle it. We just got to stick to our rules, and we got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Katie thanks Jordan Ta'amu, part of this 2 QB system for DC. So we start the 4th quarter. And the defenders holding on to a 2-point lead. Derek King is the second quarterback they use. We'll hear from him in just one moment. Got a to run it. Tomlin pulls it back. It's batted away. Derek King with Cole Kublik to walk us through this DC possession.
Hey, Derek, just want to kind of get a feel for this offense through your eyes, what you're seeing. I know you're going to get the call here in your hat, so just kind of take us through what you see right now.
Right now we got trips right in Alaska. It's going to be a freeze play. Coach Keiss wants to see what kind of coverage they're going to, and he'll call it right after this. We got Linda. So we got outside zone left, stick comes up to the right. We got a stick, we got a bubble by number 2. Throw it, throw the bubble. Yep.
I say throw it. Quarterback always wants to throw the RPO. It's an RP throw, right?
Absolutely. If we can throw, we definitely want to throw it. Most quarterbacks.
All right, so big third down coming up. Just walk us through what you got and what you're seeing from the defense.
We got spread left, Zach, red, 3 under. So we're going to send that inside receiver in motion. We got under concept. We got an outside curl by X, under route dig, and a big post. Hopefully, we're going to work it left to right. So the curl, not there. Got pressure, got the flush.
Tamu smashed, but he picked up the first down, Cole.
Yeah, first down yardage.
Yeah.
All right, so one of the reasons you got to go. Don't let me hold you up. All right, one of the reasons I wanted to get your thoughts on this, I had a talk with your college offensive coordinator, Rhett Lashley. You had the torn ACL, you couldn't participate in the spring game. He said he actually gave you the headset, and you called series on your first 2 drives. What happened?
2 touchdowns, man. I'm a quarterback. I want to throw the ball downfield. The guys make good plays, and we scored twice.
Is that in your future, coaching?
That's my plans. I definitely want to be a coach one day. Maybe sooner than later. Who knows?
We'll get one more for you here on this second down. What you're seeing, what's going through the mind of the backup quarterback?
So we got 2nd and 7. We got Texas right, 22 duo Z glance. So it's gonna be the O-line making duo blocks with inside zone, and number 3 receiver has a glance. We're gonna read that Mike back. If the Mike back flies up, we're gonna throw the glance right behind his head. If he sits back and hand it off, should be a hand. He handed it off. The running back made a great play. First down. That's how it should work every time.
I mean, how much fun is it handing the ball to that guy?
Pretty fun, man. He's a great player. He makes our job easier. He's a really good back.
You got to have somebody like him to make you not throw the ball as a quarterback.
Can you say it again? I'm sorry.
You got to have a running back like him to make you not throw the ball in an RPO.
Sometimes the RPO's not open. We love to hand the ball to the AB. He's a great back. He always makes plays for us.
What do you see here?
We 3-by-1 formation. I didn't get the play clock I was talking, but it's flex. Let me see. Little inside zone. The end squeeze, but they blitz. They squeeze Pill at the back, so they had somebody out there for Jordan. He made a good play.
Derek, we appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now you can see, as he mentioned to Cole, that when his playing days are done, coaching would be in his future. 2nd down 11 for Jordan Tamu. They've been leaning on Abram Smith, the leading rusher in the league. Tamu delivers, and it's taken away! Luke Barku pulled it right off his shoulder pads. Barku didn't lost the football again. Teddy Adoluse covers it up. Another huge play for the San Antonio defense. Carnage on the field in the Alamo Dome. Barku injured on the return. He's not the only Brahma down. Sean Williams is also injured. Luke Barku said, "Give me that," and he took it away. San Antonio with a chance to take the lead for the first time today when we return to San Antonio. One at the end of the half and one here at the beginning of the 4th quarter, where San Antonio has seized momentum. They cashed in the first half. Can they do it here to take the lead? Luke Barku interception. And Jack Cohn in the offense. Big opportunity. What's been working well for him today?
Quick passing game. They've done a really good job here in the second half, getting the ball out of Jack Cohn's hands quickly. That stick dragging again. This time you got man coverage. You might be able to work the slant up top.
Cohn picks up the first down. That's TJ Vasher in a gain of 13.
Vasher's been a different guy, too. Had the drop, critical drop earlier in the game, but, man, he's come alive here in the second half. Him, along with Akers and with Nick Hawley, they've really found something in the passing game.
Who's the mic? Ron, Vegas, Vegas. We go. Whitey, my son.
Another quick release. This is Deion Yelder. Jimmy Johnson's calling the whale of the game.
Let's go. Double left close. Stay nickel. Double left close. 77 stick cup. Double left close. 77 stick cup.
77 on Vegas. Ready. We good? You know what you got?
Tone in the second half is nearly perfect.
What are you, Luke? Who's the mic? Lined up. Vegas, Vegas. We go.
He's 13 of 14 for 123 yards. Maybe 14 of 15. Back to Yelder.
They've run that concept over and over and over again. It's just a standard stick. You got one guy out in the flat, one guy that's going to run 5 yards and stop right on the point. And every time they get in zone coverage, you just pound that stick. And they have yet to find an answer for it defensively.
Vegas, we go. Whitey, my son.
Cohen has all day. Works it to the edge, and Travis Toivonen with his first catch of the game. Barku out of the 10. Katie, what do you got?
Well, Luke's heading to the locker room after taking that big hit on the interception fumble that ensued. He said he thought that he passed the concussion protocol test, but as you guys know, these guys are competitors. The athletic training staff has stepped in and said, hey, we got to protect you from yourself. Head to the locker room.
It's a big piece missing from the secondary for San Antonio. And 2nd and 5. Two guys same spot. It's Vasher with the catch and the first down. 18-yard pickup for number 18, TJ Vasher.
This was really nicely done. Good timing. 3-step, 2 hitches right on Vasher, the big body who's got some separation on the curl. He gets upfield. And the Brahmas are knocking on the door as Jack Cohn continues to stand in there under immense pressure from Greg Williams in this DC defense.
They're getting fired up. They're throwing them back. They need a win to keep going. Remember, San Antonio will host the XFL championship. Incomplete, a hair behind Patrick. They need a win and an Arlington loss.
$75 on Vegas. Ready. Who's the mic? Vegas. We go.
Weird pressure right here. Coming up the middle. Quick release. It's complete. But nowhere to move for Nick Hawley.
Oh, man, they overloaded the protection, but they didn't cover on the outside. They did not cover TJ Vasher, who was wide open. Instead, he gets it out immediately, which is fine. If they bust the coverage, you can't anticipate that. You certainly can't do it in less than 2 seconds. Well, that blitz is breathing fire.
We go.
Field goal wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. 3rd down. Cohen back to the end zone. Incomplete, trying to find Vasher. Kelly with the coverage. Hines Ward can challenge if he wants.
I think you got to challenge this.
We got water bottles on the field.
I mean, it looked like the defender had completely wrapped up TJ Vasher there initially, but his eyes were looking back the whole time.
Worth using a timeout to think about.
He wants to challenge or the clock's running. The clock's
challenge it. Let him challenge it.
Timeout.
This is the shot right here.
Is he calling a timeout to challenge?
I think you got to challenge that.
Coach,
I've got the look.
are you calling a timeout to challenge? He's challenging? Okay. All right. San Antonio is challenging the ruling on the field that there was no defensive pass interference. The play's
okay, Reggie, I'm with you. I'll let you know. I'm going to look at it.
Of course, you can challenge anything in the XFL.
Both hands, even though the defender's looking for the ball, he's got his wrapped up right there with the ball. And there's a restriction before the ball arrives. I'm going to go to Skycam next.
All right, Dean's taking a look at it.
Skycam is not as good as my original shot. Low end zone. Here, that was my best look. I do have a foul. I've got him wrapped up, both hands clearly wrapped up. Material restriction. Okay. Reggie, after review, you do have a foul for defensive pass interference, number 24 on DC. So we're going to be first and goal at the 1 yard line. San Antonio keeps their timeout, but they're done for
the one to challenge. After further review, it's been determined there was pass interference. Defense number 24. The foul occurred in the end zone, and by rule, the ball will be placed at the 1 yard line. First and goal. San Antonio has won the challenge and will not be charged with a timeout.
Sound and fury signifying defensive pass interference. Joe Porter and Hines Ward. Emotional on the San Antonio sideline. Now first and goal. Patrick in a running back. Patrick swallowed up before he can get to the line of scrimmage. Second and goal.
One's out. One of you guys is out.
They've been pass heavy, but now we're at the 4 yard line.
60 scan on Vegas, ready.
Going to the end zone. Vasher got a hand on it, but only one. Third and goal coming up.
Pretty good throw. It's not quite enough air for Vasher to get underneath it.
Play clock at 2. Same spot, flag, bobbled and incomplete. They're attacking it, Bill Kelly. He's batted about 500 in coverage.
Offside. Defense, number 17. Half the distance to the goal. Third down.
Devin Bellamy.
You can see him just a little bit early there as the ball is snapped into the neutral zone. Vasher still one that he should have reeled in.
DC's going to run back the same play call.
Let's go, get set.
See if San Antonio repeats the same play call. They can run to the right here. Patrick, bottled up, first through, he is in, touchdown San Antonio. Brahmas' first lead of the game comes at 5:15 to play.
Interesting decision here for San Antonio. Do you go for 2 to make it a 6-point game, which would basically put the game on the line in a touchdown and an extra point situation, or do you go for 3 to make them make a decision, but they opt to go for 2 here, make it a 6-point ball game?
They hadn't converted a 2-point conversion all season until this game. Jack Cohen going to Hillman, and he is in. Houston a 6-point lead. Pivotal plays made by the San Antonio defense throughout this game. Luke Barcoo took the ball away from DC. And that set up this touchdown drive. Jaquez Patrick ran it in through traffic. And then John Hilleman took the pass from Jack Cohn for the conversion. Hines Ward team leading by 6 in a must-win game.
Jaquez, you've been doing it all today, catching on the backfield, burying bodies out there. How did it feel breaking into the end zone?
Yeah, it felt great. Just get that touchdown from my team, man. We needed this. We know we need this game. We're putting it all on the line, and we got to get this win, man. Just doing whatever it takes to get the team win.
You guys were down by 16 at one point. What's led to this turnaround?
We got nothing to lose. We just come out here and fight, and we were resilient. We was down in a situation last week, and we knew we could make a comeback. We knew we got the potential to be where we can be. We're supposed to be the best team in the league, and we're right there. We just got to finish it out right here.
Thank you.
Booker Williams grabbed it on a hop. Somehow that ball stayed in bounds. We do have a flag, though, on the far sideline.
Yeah, that was very close. From way over here, it looked like it bounced beyond the 20.
It did.
Yes.
That's cleaned up.
We got leaving early.
Okay, so a foul for Team B moving early.
I took my eyes off and checked the ball now.
Both teams moved early.
Okay.
Offset that.
Can't move until the ball is touched by the return man.
Spot. All right.
I've seen a ball take multiple hops like that
There were
in the league
fouls
this
by
year.
both teams during the kickoff. They're moving early. Illegal formation by the receiving team. Illegal formation by the kicking team. The foul's offset. It's 1st and 10 at the dead ball spot.
And so, Greg, now the best offense in the league, the best running team, the DC Defenders have 5-11 to make up a 6-point deficit. Doesn't seem out of their reach.
No, and they've been cooking offensively for the most part. It's been self-inflicted mistakes. A couple of interceptions, one great play by Luke Barcoo a second ago. But now Luke Barcoo, you can make a case, one of the better defenders in the league in the back end. He's out. So you would anticipate them challenging the backup corner that's in for the Brahmas right now.
That's Kema Severan. They swing it out to Abram Smith. He gets turned inside. No gain. And now the crowd here in the Alamo Dome getting into this game and helping feed the Brahmas energy. They clinch a playoff spot with a win today and an Arlington loss tomorrow. It's must win for San Antonio. Lose and the offseason starts tomorrow. Tommel pulls it back, delivers for a first down. Brandon Smith with a 21-yard gain.
And just a thing of beauty, he's looking at that weak side linebacker. As soon as that weak side linebacker collapses, that's Tenny Adewusi. Throws it right in behind him on the glance route for a nice big completion.
All sorts of movement. Flags and towels on the ground.
With contact, right? Yeah, with contact.
Yep, encroachment 90. Encroachment 90.
Matthew Gotel.
5-yard penalty. First down.
A couple of games with playoff implications tomorrow to wrap up the regular season. If San Antonio wins here, Bob Stoops' Arlington team needs a win tomorrow against Houston to play for the South Division Championship. Meanwhile, it's a tiebreaker battle between Seattle and St. Louis. Sea Dragons have the Vipers tomorrow on ESPN2 tomorrow night. Every game streams on ESPN+.
Ready?
DC and Houston already have their playoff spots reserved. After the penalty, 1st and 5. Tommel has room. First down run for the defenders. Great fake, turns into a 13-yard gain.
And a really nice job reading Drew Beasley and mental line scrimmage. He crashes down, taking away the run play. And then Tamu just has to make one guy miss, and he's off to the races because of man coverage on the perimeter. Just a great read there by the quarterback.
3.5 and rolling. sideline. Jump ball one, and a first down by Jazz Ferguson. 6'5" Jazz Ferguson with a 27-yard catch.
And challenging the backup corner in Kima Sivaran. As you can see, Jazz Ferguson using that length, timing it nicely, taking it right off the top of Sivaran's helmet and creating another big play down the field.
First and goal for DC, looking to reclaim the lead on the road. And Reggie Barlow got to use a timeout here, something he didn't like. Play clock was getting awfully late. Man, oh man, Greg McElroy, there was some concern, and we talked to the DC coaches about this. Just natural human tendency. DC with nothing to play for today. But maybe they took the foot off the gas a little bit, lay off the throttle going into the playoffs. Coaching staff insisted, we want to win, we want to play well, we want to hit the playoffs on a high note. They're giving all the effort today.
Yeah, they are. It came out of the gates just absolutely on fire. Felt like at that point they kind of exhaled, kind of breathed a sigh of relief, which allowed San Antonio to create a couple mistakes, which allowed them to climb back into the game and ultimately take the lead. But here, as you can see, DC will probably tell themselves this when they get back tomorrow and watch the tape. They've been their own worst enemy with some of their own self-inflicted mistakes. So here with an opportunity to steal one, even though they haven't played their best football today.
Leading rushers next to Jordan Thomas. That's Abram Smith. Going to run a quarterback keep, and he takes it in. Thomas with a 4-yard touchdown run.
And a great block out in front by Abe Smith. You see him at the point of attack going and cutting the end man on the line of scrimmage, Downey. That allows Ta'amu to make a decision. Instead of trying to get to the perimeter, he cuts it up inside where there's plenty of space. And he calls his own number for the touchdown. What's interesting here, though, I don't know why DC is going for 2. In order to take the lead, all you got to do is go for 1. So if you're liking their odds a little bit better from the 5-yard line.
They've only gone for 1 once this season. Meanwhile, they nailed that one. So they're batting 1,000 on 1-point conversions. They're only hitting on 50% of the 2-point conversion.
And knowing that they sliced right through San Antonio's defense a second ago running the football, I'm just surprised because a 2-point lead gives you nothing. I mean, it's still a field goal wins it for the Brahmas. So
there you go.
Alaska's freeze. So you think Alaska, it's very, very cold up there, never been there. So I'm assuming it's cold. That's just an assumption. But freeze, you go up to line of scrimmage, you freeze. Alaska means no play whatsoever. You take a picture, and then it sounds like they're going to go with the exact same play they just scored on, 18, which is a quarterback sweep. So we'll see whether or not they call 18 or 19 based on the look they get when they go with the Alaska.
The lead. There's 19.
So quarterback sweep to the left.
The ball came out, but it looked like he'd already crossed the goal line. Ellis ended up with it anyway. Same play.
Count it. Count it.
Consecutive runs for Jordan Ta'amu. And DC back in front by 1.
Another unbelievably good block from Abe Smith. This time he flattens the defender right in the hole. Look at him meet up right there. Puts that defender on his back, and the next thing you know, Ta'amu's right behind him. Just wills his way across the line of scrimmage for the conversion.
Low end zone. The ball comes in the event.
low end zone,
even if they recover,
which is almost
only the fumbling players allowed.
Here's the ball coming loose.
So if it's determined that it was a fumble,
Keep strapping out there.
See where he is when the ball comes loose? See where his body is?
Got it.
Correct. He's over. Reggie, we are clear. The ball came loose, but after it had broken the plane of the ball.
There you go. Thank you. Yep. Thank you, Dean.
And that's key
Make sure
because
you explain
in this
that to
situation, similar to fourth down, only the guy who fumbled could recover it.
After further
So
review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
Even though DC did recover it, that's a moot point. So Jordan Ta'amu, consecutive runs across the goal line. Once again, the simplicity of this DC offense is really what makes it tick.
Very impressive, and you could see just how quickly they got down the field. If there was ever going to be a criticism of that drive, is that they scored too quick. That would be the one complaint, but of course, it's like a pub. You find yourself with a lead, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, you'll take it 8 day of the week, but does leave a lot of time for the Brahmas.
It's like the Fiesta being too much fun. You might pay for it the next day. Here's Fred Brown. Fred Brown with a huge hole. Taken down by the kicker at the 48. It's a 40-yard return, and the Brahmas will have a short field to work with 2:26 left. Go Keeley.
Defenders quarterback Jordan Ta'amu, you leave that scoring drive. Start with this, the confidence in Jazz Ferguson to throw that fade that led up for the score.
Yeah, he's a big guy. We worked it all week in practice and, gave him a chance. He came down and made a play with it.
Back-to-back Q runs. Was that the play that you wanted?
Yeah, that's the play. We practiced all week. They were going to give us a box. We had blockers, and they just had to go in there and score. And, offensive line did a great job.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you.
Pride of Oxford, Mississippi. Party of Funkies if they can pull it off. Here's TJ Vasher. Forced out of bounds by Kelly, who's been at the center of just about every big play here in the fourth quarter. Good and bad.
Might just want to take this one to the 2-minute warning. You're only 10 yards away from being in John Parker Romo's field goal range. He's got a big leg and is hit from deep earlier this year on multiple occasions. So you're already in a really good spot offensively because of the Fred Brown kick return.
Romo trying to stay loose as we hit the 2-minute warning. San Antonio looking to come from behind again in a 2nd and 3 when we return to the Alamo Dome.
I need your best game today. I need your best today. Give me everything you got today, all right?
We got one more shot to get in the playoff. Got to take care of business today. Yes, sir.
One half. Give me everything you got. No more my bads, no more my mistakes. No, we got to be flawless, man. We got one more half. Give me all you got.
Come on now.
Finish on 3.
It's time for us to win a game now, all right? It's time for us to win a game. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Hines Ward has won everything from Dancing with the Stars to the Super Bowl, but now his Brahmas need to come from behind for a 2nd time to win this and keep their XFL season alive. And they'll lean on the running game of Jenkins Patrick, and he picks up a 1st down. No timeouts remaining for the Brahmas.
Can continue to run the football. Already referenced that John Parker Romo is comfortable from this range. He can hit from here. The big thing is that Greg Williams is going to start to bring the house. He's got to knock you out of field goal range. So your thought process as a quarterback is I have to get the ball out immediately. Because right now, even if we take a knee or spike it 3 straight times, we can still kick a game-winning field goal. Cannot lose yardage here at any point in the next few plays.
Romo's long is 57. Cole, dangerous. 1:25 remaining. Jimmy Johnson is the offensive coordinator.
Let's go. Trips left. Let's go. Trips left. All right, let's go 75. Let's go trips left beta. 75 Thunder. Trips left beta. 75 Thunder.
Vegas. We go.
DC not showing pressure here. Cone delivers to Patrick.
Get the ball. Come on, Alex, get the ball now.
Defensive coordinator for DC. Trying to strip it.
All right, here we go. Cheek to back. Cheek to back. Will single press. Stop. Cheek to back. Will single press. Stop.
Trip slow stack zing, 65 scan, smash F juke on Vegas, ready.
Better hustle, only 8 on the play clock.
Here we go, here we go. Time out.
Good choice. It's too important of a play to rush it and be discombobulated. That's a well-used timeout by Jack Cohn there.
So 44 seconds left.
Run the ball. It's fine. If that one vacates, I'm in the juke. If it's 0, juke should be fine. But I just don't want to take a sack. That's the only thing that concerns me.
And I understand that on a juke play, too. That's going to take a half second to develop. I don't like juke knowing that Greg Williams might bring the house. I understand his concerns. Because juke is a route that forces you to set up the defender and quite literally try to juke him out at the top of the stem. That takes a half second, and if they're blitzing the house, you're not going to be able to get that thing out in time.
65 scan on Vegas, right? What? Yeah. No. You're going to have the slam. You're going to have the drag. You're going to be in drag. You're going to be in protection now. Let's go, Vegas.
Talking to Patrick.
Talking to the back, saying, you worry about your protection. Don't worry about your route.
Here they come. Cohn on 3rd and 5. Unloads. Deep ball, and he overthrows T.J. Vasher. Fourth down, 37 seconds remaining, and John Parker Romo, who's proven to be the best kicker in the league, on for the lead.
And Cohn, worried about that pressure, comes off of the play side just a little bit too quickly, tries to find an outlet, and overshoots the 6'6" Vasher. Just an unfortunate play there, anticipating pressure, and that pressure not really coming.
Well, the best legs in the league, and DC will use a timeout. That gives them a practice kick, which, by the way, was good. It would have been good by another 10 yards. Last timeout for the defenders.
Hey, yo, let's go block this, man.
Final week of the regular season and the final day coming your way tomorrow, starting on ESPN at 3 o'clock. If San Antonio wins this, Arlington needs the answer to get into the postseason. Houston's already clinched the South and home field advantage. Then at 7 o'clock to close the regular season, Vegas in Seattle to take on the Sea Dragons. Every game streaming on ESPN Plus. Every game in the final weekend with playoff implications. What a year it's been in the XFL, and we're far from done. Romo's got a huge leg. He hit from 62 in warm-ups today. Inside in the Alamo Dome, this is from 53. And the lead. Wing the holder. And it is no good. Only the second miss of the season for Romo.
Good snap, good hold. Ball starts on line and then just stays a little bit wide to the right. You think it's going to draw right inside that right upright. It just doesn't go. Romo's bailed them out so many times this year. They wouldn't be in this position without him. Just an unfortunate miss there from one of the most reliable kickers in the XFL.
What a battle between DC and San Antonio. Romo being comforted by his teammates. That kick could have pushed him to the postseason. And so now the South Division is set. Arlington is in. They'll take on Houston next Saturday. DC will be at home next week. Go win it, they say. Opponents still to be determined. Reggie Barlow's the DC head coach. He's with Cole Kubelik.
Coach Barlow, your team had the playoffs already wrapped up. You had home field already wrapped up. What does it say about your group, the fight and the grit that they showed to finish this game out today?
Yeah, we talk about to do it in public, you got to do it in private. And under stress and pressure, the most rehearsed action will arise. We've put these guys through that throughout the week. Greg has, Coach Kais has. They stayed in the fight, and we were able to pull the win out.
You needed a massive drive late from quarterback Jordan Teamo in your offense. Just take us through your perspective. What did you see when they're able to go down and punch it in towards the end of the fourth quarter?
Surely we're going to lose Tamu to the NFL, right? I'm almost positive we will. But what a guy. What a player. What an awesome guy. Made plays with his legs, made plays with his arm. Our offensive line did a wonderful job for those guys, and I'm really proud of these guys. They stayed in it. Whereas opportunity nowhere turned to opportunity is now here. Proud of them.
Coach, best news for you. If that happens, you got De'Aaron King.
Blessed is what it's called, blessed, right? But we want what's best for these guys. Really proud of both of them. They play the game the right way. And the reason why this worked for us is they care about each other, and they care about each other's success. So we'll take it. Proud of these guys for the win, and time to move on.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
29-28 is the final. You heard him talking about Jordan Ta'amu. Jordan's with Katie now.
He's getting his hugs. Jordan, heck of a victory. What impressed you most about your team's performance?
You know, the never quitting in them, and you know, continuing trusting our offense and trusting each other. You know, we had a roller coaster up and down this year, but glad we came out with this victory.
You guys could have let off the gas a little bit because you didn't have much to play for today because you'd already locked up what you got going in the playoffs. What do you think that it says about the resilience of this team, just the back and forth nature of this game?
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, both teams fought hard. You know, the Brahmas, San Antonio is a good team, good defense, and they fought all the way to the end. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, but we wanted to go in this, focus on the details, and win this game to help us next week in the playoffs.
You head home to D.C. for the semifinals of the playoffs. Why is this team capable of winning an XFL championship?
You know the fight in us. You know, all of us, we're all great players. All of us deserve a chance in the NFL. All of us deserve a chance just to play and be on TV and, you know, play in front of our family. So, you know, everyone's done a great job, and I'm just so excited, super happy for our team. I think we're going to win this whole thing.
Coach Barlow just said, surely we lose Jordan to the NFL. What do you have to say about that?
I'm going to say I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust God and trust in myself.
Best of luck next week.
Thank you so much.
So Jordan Ta'amu and the DC defenders knew they had home field advantage wrapped up, but still he took some hits in this game. They really battled in this game. It all came down to a kick, and a kick that could have put San Antonio possibly into the postseason. This is John Parker Romo, who had only missed once all season. And after he missed this one, he felt like he had let his team down. His quarterback, Jack Cohn, always the leader, had other thoughts indeed.
That's on me, baby. That's on me. I got you, baby. Appreciate you. I got you. It's on me.
And that's leadership from Cohn, great leadership from Ta'amu, and we're set almost for the postseason now. Just one spot left.
Let's go, bro.
Trying to figure out who gets in between Seattle and St. Louis. Cole Kubelik down on the field.
Here with defenders linebacker Francis Bernard. Take us through just late. You guys had to come up with a couple of big stops, and I know you gave up some plays you didn't want to, but what was the mindset? What was the conversation like on the sideline in the huddle to be able to close the game out?
Man, it was just next play mentality, you know. It's pro football, so they're going to make plays. We're going to give up plays. That's just part of it. And so, you know, our coaches kept saying, hey, next one, you know, move on to the next. We got to have that emotional toughness, and I thought we did a good job today. But, you know, we got to clean some things up, but at the end of the day, we won, so it was good.
How do you turn the page now and prepare for the playoffs?
Man, just, you know, we got to be grateful for the things we did in the regular season, but we got to see who wins, you know, and I don't know who won, but we're excited to go play in the playoffs, and it's going to be a big game.
Thank you very much. Congrats.
Yep, thank you.
Well, DC has been the best team in the league all season. They proved that once again today, but they've been playing some close games late where the point differential last four is only 3 points now. DC 9-1 wins the North. They'll be home. The South is set now. Arlington plays Houston tomorrow to close the regular season. Nothing to lose for either team. They'll match up again a week Saturday, a week from today. to determine the South Division Championship. That's Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern in Houston. The North Division Championship will be at Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN at Audi Field. And DC still waiting to see who their opponent will be for that one. You can get tickets for the championship. Go to xfl.com/tickets. With prices starting at just $25. Championship game right back here May 13th in San Antonio. What a win for DC in a back-and-forth affair. Maybe the best game of the season in the XFL after we saw the highest scoring game in XFL history before us in St. Louis. And Greg, what really impresses me about DC's effort today, they could have just laid down. Yeah. They had everything already in the bank with home field advantage for next week, but they really fought hard.
But the message from Reggie Barlow, the entire staff, was we want some momentum going into the postseason, and they created it. Look, if you look at the performance, they were the better team today. Now, San Antonio battled, man. Yeah. They played their hearts out, and they made plays. But the reason why they were able to make some plays is because DC really kind of allowed them to get back in the game. Couple of big interceptions by the Brahmas defense kind of changed the momentum and allowed them to surge forward. But DC, when they're playing their best football, nobody's touching them, that's for sure.
Let's talk postseason for just one moment. DC will either get Seattle or St. Louis. Who matches up better with the defenders?
You're going to have to play extremely well in the front seven defensively. And one thing that I've seen from both those two teams, they've been a little bit hit or miss on defense. Now, you want quarterback fireworks. You got unbelievable fireworks, A.J. McCarron in St. Louis. You got terrific potential playmaking with Ben DiNucci out of Seattle. So I think if I had to pick one, it'd probably be St. Louis, just because they're not as mistake prone as Seattle has been as times this year. But either team, I think, has the firepower to do it, but it certainly won't be easy.
Point differential just about the same between the two opponents, and DC swept them both. Didn't lose a game in division. What a weekend in the XFL. Mahalo to Jordan Ta'amu. He and the defenders will play on. They'll be at home next week at Audi Field. Cannot wait for that scene in our first trip to our nation's capital, as DC will try to punch its ticket to return to San Antonio in the XFL Championship. So for Katie George, Cole Kulik, Greg McElroy, our fantastic crew here in San Antonio, what a thriller. DC and San Antonio crushed the over. They finish 29-28 tomorrow. First game of the day is on ESPN. Houston and Arlington, and the first of two consecutive matchups between those two. DC comes behind not once but twice. The defenders pull off a 29-28 victory thanks to a missed kick at the end. Coming up next is ABC World News tonight on your local news over most of these ABC stations. Have a great XFL weekend, everybody.